The story starts with an Afro-US scientist named Malcolm who worked as scientific assistant in cyclotron project Large Hadron Collider by CERN. Malcolm is a hard-working, adamant and good physicist who once was mocked by their friends because Malcolm has been suffered from bipolar disorder. With hard work, he acquired a Master of Physics degree and PhD in physics. He worked hard to get a post in Large Hadron Collider project, and he worked for many years up to March 2020 when Gov was running out money and have to curtail posts, and he is also in the list. The sad Malcolm returns back his one-room home in USA and start to look for job. Some days later he gets a job offer of mere technician from a company who help USA government in some satellite projects. As a technician he has to repair and maintain radio signaling OK. Due to his good nature and hard work, the operational officer give advice to his boss to consider Malcolm for other post. So interview conducted and Malcolm gets led and appointed as assistant scientist in a project named ECHO. The project is a research in field of aliens by spreading radio signals in different languages in which scientists are still awaiting a call. Due to spreading of COVID-19 and its super variant CoV-Z1, many peoples are dead, including a German physicist named Bob in this project who was a good friend of Malcolm. Bob was a passionate science nerd who was highly interested in aliens, and his interest in them pulled him to the project ECHO. The death of the only person whom Malcolm started to believe has gone. After this catastrophe, Malcolm gets information of some notes of Bob in which he wants to send signals of COVID-19 to aliens. Some days later Malcolm suggests this idea in meeting to other scientists, and all of them approve to give it a try. Signals having pics, research all is sent to space in tribute of Bob. Some light years away an egg-shaped cosmic entity changes its way from its home planet to Earth. It is a spaceship from planet Zood who was collecting signals or information from Earth for a very long time, for almost 70 years, and it got what they want. The spaceship contains an alien race named Zoodonos who are very similar to humans, having heights 5 feet 8 to 6 feet. They are highly developed race who wander the galaxies observing intelligent race and absorbing information of their world. Earth is one of the millions of those intelligent planets. They land on Earth somewhere in India. They took a human form and start to observe the pandemic COVID-19. A female alien named Zua chooses the path to source of the signal. The path leads her to Project ECHO. The aliens were shocked to know that the virus which is spread in Earth is similar to the virus they observed in an advanced planet which is almost 5,000 years ahead, planet Earth. They start to investigate about real cause of this anomaly, that how can a lower developed planet like Earth keep this highly developed virus naturally? In USA, Zua meets Malcolm at science exhibition of Project ECHO in disguise of biologists who are working on cure of COVID-19. Zua start to follow him and observe him and become happy to see the humanitarian way of Malcolm to others, even to animals. On other side of globe, Zoodonos find the reason of spreading COVID-19. They already know that this virus is not natural, but become surprised that scientists and government of developed nations make COVID-19 to control the poor nations by making them needy of vaccines, but failed as the vaccine they made before COVID-19 breakout for taking advantage of the situation become invalid due to unexpected virus mutations. The Zoodonos decide to put this matter in court of Zood, as planet Zood has controlled such type of activities in many other planets. In many planets their existence is apparent and they are treated as saviors of civilizations, and those aliens associate their planets as the subordinates of planet Zood. Zoodonos calls on Zua to visit their planet and keep Earth's crisis in the court of Zood. But Zula refuses to do so and says that the court of Zood has already left undeveloped planets like Earth in critical and threatful circumstances because it helps the planets that have been developed morally and scientifically by their habitants and are at least 5,000 to 6,000 years ahead of Earth. And we have seen what the court of Jude will not be able to digest. She says that since they have been here since 1942, they have seen apartheid, atrocities on untouchables, terrorism, Philistine Syria crisis, 9/11, Iraq crisis, World War II. Even humans have nuclear bombs. The court of Zood will never tolerate this, and the court will not allow them to make antiparticle of this virus. She continues and says that whatever has gone wrong in the last 70 to 80 years was because of only a few people, and most of the humans can be made morally sound. To prove this claim, Zoodonos go to different corners of the Earth by their space pods and observe humans deeply. Zoodonos team leader and Zula go together to observe Malcolm and watch him from space pod for several days. A few days later, they see an old woman and her grandson crossing the road through the crowd. But she falls after getting dizzy, and her grandson goes to everyone and asks for help. Because of COVID-19 pandemic, no one helps her. The grandson of an old woman goes to every shop and to many people of the crowd and asks for help, and some people also call for medical help, but no one wants to touch that woman. Malcolm is also in the same crowd. He makes the child and the woman sit in his car so that he can get her admitted to the nearest medical facility. Zula and the alien team leader is watching all this. Malcolm takes them both to the nearest medical facility, where it is revealed that both the old woman and the child are COVID-19 negative. On the other hand, after observing India, Africa, Pakistan, South America and many countries for several days, Zoodonos find that those who were divided before COVID-19 fallout are now helping each other. Some are donating oxygen cylinders by selling their cars, while some are doing the last rites of people who have died of COVID by keeping religion behind. Human innocence has a profound effect on Zoodonos. All the Zoodonos arrive in their spaceship, and the team leader announces, "Humanity deserves a chance," and they start making antidote of this virus. And they make the antidote of this COVID virus an antivirus which is benign for the living beings of the Earth. That is, this antivirus can coexist with all the animals, humans and plants of the Earth, and it does not harm them. And its host is human. It can live in humus without harming them. They scatter this benign virus in the atmosphere of the Earth, and these benign antiviruses slowly enter into humans, due to which natural antibodies for COVID-19 are developed in humans. Because this benign virus and will now always be in the atmosphere, so the duty of the Zoodonos ends here, and they are satisfied that they can safely leave the humans. After a few months, planet Earth becomes completely free from COVID-19. Scientists, politicians, news channels, bankers, laborers, wagers, school and college children all over the world wonder how this pandemic has ended. But finally they all believe that nature has made an antivirus itself. Scientists give this theory that humans are recovering and are developing natural antibody from the benign strain of COVID-19 virus which is created by nature.
In last scene of the movie, all Zoodonos go to Malcolm to tell him goodbye for good. Zua takes Malcolm with her to a spaceship landed outside the city which is invisible. Zua tells Malcolm the truth that she's not a human, she's an alien. She and her race are a pacifist alien race, the Zoodonos, who have been appointed by the court of Zood to observe intelligent beings in galaxies. All the Zoodonos come to Malcolm and touch him together with their hands and pass on the knowledge collected from many highly developed planets. and Malcolm gets to know everything about who are Zudonos, what is Court of Zood, and how many other planets have had crises before planet Earth and what was their reason and what are their solutions. All these knowledge come to him. Malcolm, who spent his whole life fighting with bipolar disorder, has got the knowledge of more developed planets than Earth. Malcolm is deeply saddened by their departure, and the Zudonos team leader considers him one of his own and calls him Zood. After this, all the Zudonos are converted into lightly human figures one by one and go to the spaceship. Zua converts in the last and says to Malcolm that love scatters faster than light. Malcolm. With it you can cross the uncertainties and the infinities of time and space between us. The Zudonos spaceship turns towards the Pleiades, Seven Sages constellation, and gradually disappears from the eyes of Malcolm.